You want to see what's in the bucket?
I'm going in.
Yeah, you do that. Whoa, what is that? What is that?
McDonald's.
Does that say Big Mac on it? Big Mac. McDonald's. Oh.
It's the Golden Arches.
Ooh, what else? Skittles.
Old French fries.
New Skittles. What's going on here? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to watch Mac and Me?
Why the fuck not?
Let's watch Mac and Me. That's a good idea. Got some Skittles. Got some McDonald's. No Coca-Cola, but got Mac and Me.
The shirt's from Sears. You asked me to watch a movie,
Yes.
right?
Well, I asked Twitter if we should watch the movie that I wanted to watch,
You asked me first before you asked me.
and then I was saying, can I convince you
And
to
then
watch
once you
it?
had the results of a whole whopping 3 people that said something about it.
They were very passionate, and they let me know that it's worth it to
Okay.
watch Mac and Me.
And I said, sure. I'm an open guy.
Yeah?
I'll watch things. My sum total experience with Mac and Me is the bit where Paul Rudd goes on late night Conan O'Brien.
Conan, yeah.
And he's supposed to be setting up his clip for whatever movie he's promoting, and instead of that clip, it's a clip from Mac and
Mac
Me.
and Me.
Let's take a look at this clip from Anchorman 2.
Anchorman 2.
You've been showing that stupid clip on my show
Thank you.
for, I think, 15 years.
Thanks.
It's from a movie called Mac and Me. Oh. And you always convince me you're not going to show it again.
I know.
And you promise me you're not going to show it again, and you show it again.
I don't know how many more times. I want to say Mac and Me as many times as possible.
Do you want to do a counter? You're not going to do that. That's too much work.
It's too much work, but Mac and Me.
Anyway, that's what I know about Mac and Me.
Yeah.
Until I saw the movie yesterday.
Until you finally watched it. So why did I choose Mac and Me, right? Well, Shout Factory decided to release a collector's edition of Mac and Me, which, okay, I mean, you buy more Blu-rays than I do, especially horror Blu-rays.
Not lately, but because I think, yeah, anyway. I bought too many.
Can you really have I mean, I guess if it's the only edition, it's a collector's edition. I mean, this is the first time it's on Blu-ray, so that would make it a collector's edition, right? I even tweeted at them about, like, I thought I was gonna get like a slipcover or something, like not a steel book, but something a little bit more.
It is Mac and Me.
It is Mac and
You're
Me.
literally now talking about Mac and Me steelbooks, just to bring you back down to earth.
But the idea, somebody somewhere knew it was a good idea to get the rights, do the transfer, do all stuff to put Mac and Me on Blu-ray for the 30th anniversary.
Boy, how many units do you think it's sold?
Oh, I'm not the only one on the internet talking about Mac and Me right now.
At least Paul Rudd loves it, and Chris Evans loves it too.
Oh, I did not know that.
Captain America also likes it.
I just know that other people on the internet are talking about Mac and Me right now as well, which is making me laugh. But, I mean, it looks great. It is 30 years old. It's just that, I don't know, the word collectors, a CE makes me think that I should have gotten
You got a transfer?
yeah. Oh,
You have a commentary?
Thank you for this. I mean, just that this exists is great. I thought it was gonna be more, but I'm happy with
I
it.
got
Don't worry.
Ravenous and Session 9 on Blu-ray, okay? Like, and, you know.
So, Mac and Me,
It's fine.
the 1988 classic E.T. ripoff that, when I say classic, I mean it's...
Not a lot of E.T. ripoffs.
You're saying there's not an anatomy of an E.T. ripoff?
You can do it if you want, but you're gonna have to come up with at least like 3 more examples.
This movie failed spectacularly at the box office. Failed spectacularly with critics. Failed spectacularly with anything and everything, I guess you
And
could
yet
say.
here it exists on Collector's Edition Blu-ray.
Because why? You play it on TV enough, kids watch it, they grow up with it, it becomes a cult classic, and this is firmly in the camp of it's so bad that it's good. And I know a lot of people love to do, like, let's watch bad movies, because, you know, whatever, and I'm just like, I'm over that trend. I mean, I think that was cool for like a year when I was like 19, It was like, hey, let's watch a really shitty horror movie, right?
Yeah.
It's basically what your life is now. But
I only watch amazing horror movies.
yeah, but that happens to horror. I mean, a lot of horror movies. I mean, you think about.
Horror's easy to make.
I was going more towards the. When you say it's easy to make, I mean literally you can make a horror movie on like a $30 budget, and there are horror movies that were made on $30 budgets.
Right.
Shit, here they come.
And so people seem to not mind as much. They just watch them anyways, and they enjoy them, I guess.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. We
But
had
it gives access to somebody with a vision. But somebody that might make something good with very little money.
we had a friend who moved away like a decade ago or more, and he was making low budget horror movies, and he's sadly passed away. I miss him now, and I want
You pour this out on your carpet.
Yeah, my carpet. We already spilled beer on the carpet more than once, so it's not a big deal. Should I say his name? Nah. Not, I mean, I feel like his existence got wiped off the internet. Like when I searched for him, all his stuff was like gone.
Everybody's gonna like wonder who this
I
is.
know, whatever. But he was making movies like that, and they're bad. But there is a subgroup who enjoys that kind of movie,
Yeah.
right? So those are bad because they're cheaply made, but some people like that they're cheap because it kind of gives a visceral feel to it. I don't know. But then there's the like,
There's a whole subsect of people that are really into bad children's family movies
sure. But I was thinking more
with a
towards,
science fiction angle. Is that
yeah,
right?
but I was thinking more towards like, remember what Cracker Jacked?
Yeah.
Like how bad Cracker Jacked is? Like
Yeah.
you're like, why did anyone make this?
right.
No!
But then there's just like bad horror movies. It's usually horror. But then there's like sci-fi is full of bad stuff, or at least it used to be. Sci-Fi Channel used to be full of just bad, not the Sharknadoes, but
No,
before
you can go back to the 50s and 60s and it'd be like
Plan B or Plan 9 from Outer Space.
yeah, stuff like that. Sure.
But it's like
Put a guy in a suit and you got a movie.
there's bad because it's incompetence, and there's just bad because they don't know what they're doing and budget and everything else and whatever.
I'm excited to find out where you're going with this.
There are bad movies that people like to watch because they're bad, and I think that that's kind of corny.
Yeah.
It's not as funny as everyone thinks.
Like
it is
The
because-
Room.
Because everyone's watching it, right? This is the epitome of a bad movie that's extremely enjoyable because it's so bad. Because it has heart. It's not bad because the people didn't know how to make a movie. It's not bad because they didn't have any money. It's not bad because it's extremely like ugly or I mean the acting is
It's kind of Fast and Furious thing. Like, they're not, well, some of them are,
See, but Fast and Furious is on it like they're going for that. Whether or not you
but they're
like
going
that,
for it like they're going for it.
Yes, they're just like
And it's sincere.
macho, go for it.
Right, but it's
You're right.
sincere and family. And family.
Because it's like family.
Family.
Are we family?
Family, yes.
Or family?
And, and it's so sincere that you get over, like, how dumb
But some
it
of
is.
but some of it's really good,
But some of it is really good.
right? So
And there's a couple parts that are really good in Mac and Me.
So Mac and Me is one of those things where you watch it and you laugh because you're like, this is so stupid, but you somehow enjoy it. So, anyways, the tagline for Mac and Me: out of this world and into your heart.
Yeah.
I mean, this is better than like a Hallmark Channel movie. Those are,
They looked at the reviews for ET, like the ones that are short enough to just put on the box art or on the poster.
Yeah.
And one of them said, "Straight out of space and into your heart," and they went, "Perfect. Let's put that on the movie."
Just change one word in it. I'm gonna have my paper notes here because I'm old school. So we'll just do what we always do. 1988, directed and written by Stuart Raffill.
Did this guy ever do anything else?
Passenger 57 with Wesley Snipes. So that, obviously,
Well, I never saw that.
me neither, but
I feel like I should have seen every Wesley Snipes movie.
I've seen part of it.
Can we do a thing where we watch every Wesley Snipes?
Wesley Snipes movie. Yeah, what's the?
You guys into that? Every Wesley Snipes movie?
We call it catch a snipe,
Like snipe?
catching a snipe, or snipe.
Sniper's got a snipe?
No, because aren't snipes the things you're
American
like?
Sniper?
Isn't that the thing that they teach little kids like go out and catch a snipe?
I don't
'Cause they're
know
not real?
what's going on right now. Is
Really?
this a Dory?
No,
Dora the Explorer thing?
People, it used to be a thing where you would tell a kid go out and catch a snipe because snipes aren't real, and the kid wouldn't know that, so they go out looking for an animal they don't even know what it is. If you
I've
watch,
literally never heard this
if you
before
watch
in my
the
life.
movie Up, he calls Kevin, which is the big bird, a snipe at first because he's like, I'm out to catch a snipe. He's like, I caught a snipe. And he's like, yeah, good job. Because snipes don't exist.
I found the snipe!
Oh, did you?
Are they tall?
Oh, yes, they're very tall.
Do they have a lot of colors?
They do indeed.
Wow, I just missed out on this.
You can
entire
Google
thing.
it while I'm talking.
I believe you.
People should know this. So if you called it like Snipe Hunt or something like that, we could do that. Anyways, Passenger 57.
I like Wesley Snipes a lot.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, and I wish there was another Blade movie.
He also directed High Risk, which had James Brolin, not Josh Brolin. He directed movies that like I don't know what they are, but supposedly they have like Michael Sheen and like other bigger names that are like we're talking like late 70s, early 80s, the kind of before our time for movies that like just I don't care about, right? But I care about Mac and Me. Before he ever directed a movie, he was an animal trainer and supervisor. So like he was doing like Tarzan.
He was already working with Max in the Wild. Oh, you know what though? Wait, I was trying to think if there were actually.
Are you like is there a joke here? Or something?
Well, because he's kind of like an animal. It's an alien, I guess. But actually, there are animals in this movie. There's the dogs.
Yeah, and he said that was. He goes, that's a kind of a. He was doing
And they
like
skidded.
yes.
And I genuinely want to know how he did that.
You can see it.
What do you mean?
You can see. We'll get to that scene. We'll talk about it.
Do you have like behind
No,
the
but you
scenes
can
info?
you can see it.
Okay.
I watched the movie
Alright.
3 times. So like he was doing lion, like he was like a lion tamer.
with a chair and a whip and stuff.
Like not on camera, but like he was like when the MGM logo came up and the lion roars.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that brought back memories. Because that's what he would do. He would be like the guy who like wrangled the lion to sit in a spot and then like okay, now roar, that kind of thing.
It's probably like super animal abuser guy. I don't know. Whatever. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, just start spreading misinformation about him. He seems like a nice enough guy. I don't know. Alan Silvestri did the score to this movie, which everyone should know who that is. But if you don't, we're talking
He
Predator.
did Predator before this?
Predator right before this, which the director kept referring to as that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie in the jungle. He could not remember the name of it.
You son of a bitch.
What kind of world do you have to live in where that's where you think of Predator?
Yeah.
I had somebody come into the store a couple weeks ago, and they picked up a new Deadpool comic because they said, oh, I heard this was a movie. And I heard it was pretty funny, so I'm going to try this comic book.
You son of a bitch.
Back to the Future. Okay. He scored all Back to the Future, and he did the Avengers.
Which actually is one of the few Marvel movie scores that you can actually recall, or at least I can.
Oh, because he did the theme song for it, right? Like
Yeah.
the
Wait, hang on.
okay, music always sounds terrible when somebody decides to
I can do
hum
it. I can do it. Avengers is
I'm thinking bum bum bum. I don't know what I'm thinking of.
no. Hold on. Stop it. I can't with you.
It's not Avengers. I don't know what I'm singing.
I don't know what you're doing right
but
now,
I have
but I
something in my mind. I have a song in my head that I want to get out now.
All I
while we're
have
on
stuck
camera.
in my head now is Starship Troopers because you.
That's
said
what I was doing.
Starship
That's
Troopers
what it is.
ago.
I was singing Starship Troopers. That's what I was thinking of. The Clan Death drop.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun,
This has gone
yeah, whatever.
This has gone so off the fucking rails.
It pisses me off because like this feels like I'm wrong and I'm not. The Avengers music is actually really good.
It sounds like the music from Starship Troopers, right? That's why I'm thinking of that. Anyways, Mac and Me. It won a Razzie that year for Worst Director, and it was nominated for Worst
Razzies
Screenplay.
existed back then?
Yeah, it was nominated for Worst Screenplay and Worst Picture. So that tells you anything, but I think that's unjustified. That's not even fair.
Why? What else came out that year?
Well, I didn't win for Worst Screenplay and Picture, so I don't know what it lost.
Didn't win.
So it obviously wasn't the worst. Mac and Me. So,
Mac and Me.
Mac and Me. We open on an alien planet. They're walking around in really bad film.
In Riverside.
Palms
With the filter.
Yeah, you're right. There was like a weird filter on the screen. We're doing the McDonald's thing again.
What? I'm just gonna have my Big Mac.
It's gonna have your Big Mac there.
This is Big Mac and Me.
So we open on an alien world. They're drinking.
It's empty.
What planet do you think they're on?
They'd never say.
I know, but what do you think? I had an argument with my wife about this. I want to see what you
They're
have
on
to say.
Mars.
Okay. One probably is what they want people to think, right?
But Saturn or something was in the background.
Saturn is right in the
I
background.
don't know anything about what fucking planets are in front of other planets. It was red and rocky. What other planet is red and rocky?
So I said, that's Saturn in the background because it has a ring around it. And my wife says,
All right,
well,
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Right.
Lay it on us.
My wife says, well, it's probably Jupiter. I said, but it's got a fucking ring on it. She's like, Jupiter has
You
rings?
can't live on Jupiter. It's like a giant storm. It's just like all the gas.
No, well, not saying they were on Jupiter. The one that's in the background, there's a big planet in the background. And it has a ring around it. I'm like, that's obviously Saturn. She's like, well, they have rings around Jupiter and shit. And I'm like, one, I didn't really know that. But anytime you show a planet with a ring around it, to anybody who's normal, they're going to say, oh, it's Saturn, because that's what they've been taught to think Saturn has the ring. Now, there are moons around that ring, right? Whatever planet or thing that we're on for this is far enough away that you can see Saturn and the ring. So I said, well, my guess is it's a moon around Saturn. I'm like, the only way for Saturn to be like this big in the sky would have to be a moon around Saturn. So I don't fucking know. I don't think they know. They just did it, right? But to me, they're on some kind of moon around Saturn. There's like a desert moon, which wouldn't make any sense. And they drink out of the dirt with straws.
They drink the Coca-Cola.
They drink Coca-Cola off of a moon near Saturn.
When we run out of Coca-Cola here on Earth,
Yes.
we'll eventually have to go out into the cosmos
Yes.
to find more Coca-Cola, and this will be the next stop.
Elon Musk, if you're watching this, because I know you love Mac and me, get me to the Coca-Cola planet.
Is this
Moon.
the only Mac and Me fanfic that exists?
I think it's just right there on the screen.
Shall we try to find
It's not
Mac and Me
fanfic.
fanfic?
It's oh. I
but
would
does
look-
Mac and Me fanfic exist?
Okay, but what fanfiction doesn't have like, and then Mac fucked somebody?
Oh, it's probably all slash fic.
Right. It's all
Just
gonna
all
be.
those little. There's just
Wait, sorry. Mac didn't fuck me. Mac's dad sucked a dick. Because they yeah. If you haven't seen any Mac and Me, go look at a picture of the aliens at least, so you know what we're talking about.
Could we just talk about that now? Get it out of the way.
Surprisingly, there weren't any like special features about like the makeup effects or who
That's
did 'em.
because it's terrible. It's the worst designed creature ever made. The only thing that kind of makes it work is the dad and the way he walks.
I was just gonna say, it's so bad. Again, you're like,
It's just so fucking weird. It's so hard to look at most of the time.
that's what makes it good.
That's what makes it
it's
good.
so weird. They're like naked with no
genitalia.
and they kind of just like.
But they don't so they don't have any gender, but then they do because then they put clothes on later.
They cast mimes.
No shit.
Yeah, and it makes me think back to RoboCop. So
Yeah.
you think Mac and Me is terrible, right? But I'm gonna draw some parallels to RoboCop right now. Peter Weller worked with a mime to learn how to be RoboCop.
Get his little birdie.
Yeah,
He was thinking
just-
about being a bird.
yeah. Well,
Quick, fast movement.
at first, no, it was a snake at first,
It was a snake at first, but
and
it
then
turned
it
into a
was
bird.
kind of whatever. So the director said mimes are really good for costume creature stuff because if you get an actor, they try to act. If you get a stuntman, they don't know how to act. But a mime knows how to use their body for everything, right? David Bowie was a mime.
Was in Mac and Me. Oh.
Yeah, maybe David Bowie. They actually talked about a scene in that movie possibly being influenced by a David Bowie.
This is the Jeopardy question. David Bowie and Mac and Me have this in common.
The director said no, but there was a connection there, I think. Anyways, yeah, they were mimes, or like he hired mime actors to do that, and
Okay.
it works
yeah.
because they know how to emote with their body, not
Yeah.
with their face over. So,
I mean, I was trying to be like, oh, there's like a drunk person, but it's not really even not that.
It looks like-
It really is just like a whole new, like nobody moves like that. Actually, nobody moves like that.
it looks like a drunk person. It looks like a drunk
person kind of like
heroin
one
addict.
way and then another way. This is just like, I can't even fucking do it because I'm not a mime.
NASA lander decides to land there, which I don't know how fucking. Again, where are we in the universe or the solar system? I have no idea. But NASA has a lander that lands. They see it. They touch it.
Mhm.
Well, after they throw rocks at it.
They
shit.
throw a rock at it,
But I don't.
which
Whatever.
makes them very human.
Well, I mean,
That's what all of us would do that.
this.
You know what you do? You throw a rock at it.
This suffers from the same Star Trek problem. Is that everything is a humanoid, bipedal, 2 eye, 2 arms, 2 legs, nose, ears thing, right? As much as I don't like Star Wars got aliens correct because they're mostly upright 2 legs, but they're like mixed with fly DNA and there's Jabba the Hutt and just weird shit, right? Star Trek, they're always just like, I'm green.
Well, budget.
I'm an alien. I'm Gamora.
Budget.
Fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. Dave Bautista is a person.
Yeah.
What is Thandi?
That's how he's drawn in the motherfucking comic
Is
book.
it Thandi Newton? What's her name? Who plays Gamora?
Zoe Saldana.
Zoe Saldana. Yeah, I mix her with Thandi Newton. I'm green. I'm an alien. Rocket Raccoon is a fucking raccoon that talks. That's an alien. I don't know why he looks like a raccoon, but he's an alien. I mean, he's like different,
He
right?
doesn't know what a raccoon is.
Whatever. The idea there that, again, humanoid creatures, but the CGI, money, budget, whatever. I can understand why they're wearing people wearing suits. You're staring at me a lot, and I don't like it. Look at the camera some more. He's doing that to me, and I don't like it. So, anyways, somehow they the lander's drilling, and it's it's doing stuff with the soil.
Got some rocks.
They put-
helped to get some rocks.
Yeah, and then a vacuum sucks them up, and they stretch and contort, and they go into the lander. That's only
This is before, by the way, you would think in a competent film,
This movie is very competent.
in a good movie,
The director directed the shit out of this movie.
in a good movie, you would actually have one of those aliens do something stretchy.
Right. Well.
So when the vacuum cleaner sucked them up, you didn't go. I guess it's just his magic.
besides the fact that they can stretch their arm out like Dalsum from Street Fighter to grab a soda,
Yeah, they're very elastic. They can do anything.
that I can accept that. If the only thing is, like you said, yes, there's no precedent in the beginning. There's no exposition to let you know they're stretchy, but it sucks them up. And so we have a dad who looks like he's 6'5" and skinny, right? He's in a lander about this big. So the sucking, I'm on board with the sucking. I don't know what it did when he got inside there. How did it fit 4 family members inside that little thing?
They were like,
They were squished in.
yeah, if you take 5 Stretch Armstrongs,
And just squeezed them. And,
you could fit them into something. It
So,
was very uncomfortable for a little while.
and I guess this
A
Mars.
couple of years it took for this thing to get
Yeah,
back.
seriously, that would have taken a long ass time. I think the journey to Mars is 14 months, or at least it used to be with slower stuff. Now it's 9. They go really fast. And if we're all the way out to fucking Saturn, yeah, we're talking years to get back. But we'll just brush that away. We don't worry about that.
Do these aliens? They live on this planet that they got sucked off of?
Were they the only ones on this planet?
I have lots of questions.
None of them can be.
Do they
answered.
have technology? Are
Yeah,
are they like cave people?
No, they can. He can touch a rock, and he goes, "Oh, there's Coca-Cola in that rock," and he can stick a straw in the dirt.
Do they
and-
go inside things? Do they have huts? Do they even have any
Cave.
kind of?
maybe caves?
Do you think it just live outside all the time?
They just walk around drinking Coca-Cola
That's
out
all
of the
they do?
ground. Yeah, that's all they
They
do.
shouldn't piss. Well, they don't actually because I don't have any orifices.
Maybe that's what the hole in the mouth is for.
It's like a no. There's there's worms and stuff that are like that. Their butt is their mouth. It's the same
Well,
thing.
That's a thing. But worms, it goes in and comes out the other side.
Or
it goes
that.
through the whole thing, and comes out.
Okay.
But I think I know what you're talking about.
I think there are things though that have whatever. So they don't have civilization in society.
I don't know. I don't know.
Culture,
I don't know. I don't know if they have culture.
are they the only ones on that planet?
That's what I said. I don't know.
Okay.
The questions will never be answered.
That would have been answered in the sequel.
Yeah.
What would it? Would it just be Mac and Me too? Or would it be Mac and Us? Or
Mac and we.
Mac and We?
Or
Mac and We, Mac and We,
yeah, yeah, no, it'd be called Me and Mac.
Me and Mac, yeah.
Me and Mac.
It'd be Mac and I.
Not if it's at the end of a sentence.
All right.
All right. So
I promise I'm going to try to stop interrupting you.
I'm on sentence 2 of the plot of the story. So the lander lifts off, comes back to Earth. It lands, and a bunch of nerdy scientists with hazmat suits are look at the machine and make sure it's working. And all of a sudden, boom! Out come Mac's family.
Yeah.
What should we call them? The Macs. Does that mean his name is Mac?
In relation to Bernie Mac?
What if his last name is Mac? Isn't his first name Mac? So is he like a Mario?
Mac, Mario.
My kids the other day were asking me what's Mario's last name? I said Mario. I was like, what's the first name? It was Mario.
Yeah, it's just...
I was like, what's Luigi's name? I'm like,
didn't you watch the movie?
I was like, Luigi. What's the last name? Mario. So his name is Luigi Mario and Mario. That blew their mind. You can have two first name and a last name, the same name. I'm like, yeah.
The reality is that the family's name is...
Yeah, that is true. So we realize they have some kind of weird power to manipulate electricity,
They seem to be able to manipulate electricity,
and they're super strong.
and they're just like Hulk strong,
Yeah.
and they can stretch, and they can kind of float. Because he does like the.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that point. I don't know what that was all about.
I think that's their only. They can also do things like they're like Santa Claus. Because
Like they can clean the house real good.
they can do it in like 5 hours.
So they have every power you can
Yeah.
have, basically, except for the fact that like they can't walk faster than like a drunkard's
Or like-
wandering downtown, you know.
Or like communicate or draw
Yeah.
or anything.
Well, they can communicate with each other. We just don't know the language.
Yeah.
Draw. They might be able to draw.
They don't even know what that means. I think that these
they don't
aliens are really stupid. Is really what I'm getting at. They're super dumb. I think they're like really dumb.
How do they procreate if they don't have any?
I don't think there are any more of their species. I think that they just like
Well, they keep,
happened.
a family just
And they're
happened.
eternal.
And, yeah.
They are eternal because they try to blow them up and they could.
Yeah, they don't. The fire doesn't do nothing. So Mac goes through a fence, and for some reason, like he touches the fence, and it like cuts a hole in it. There's electricity power. But the next thing you know, he's holding onto the fence, and it's almost like a hurricane is blowing him away.
Yeah.
But it feels like he's being pulled. But there's, I don't. He just blows away from nothing. I don't know what that's about. And he rolls into a circle of sorts, and like a what do you call the thing? Like an old Wile E. Coyote. The fucking thing that rolls across the road.
Tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed, yeah. He's like a tumbleweed, and he goes right into traffic, and he smashes against a windshield. So we talk about
There's a
elasticity.
little car window breaking in this movie.
I don't know.
Oh, he didn't break the window this
No,
time.
he's like on the windshield, but
Oh, okay.
he was.
It's like a.
But he's flattened
fly
onto
on
it.
it, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not just. He's very elastic.
Yeah.
I think he has some really good car crash. A fucking SUV that goes up and over crashes into a
Yeah,
car.
that's actually not bad.
Competent filmmaking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Competent stuff.
Everybody has to comment on it. Whoa, did you see that crash?
Who's what? Well, I mean, it was 1988, so he probably would be talking like that. And then Mac ends up in the family van for the family who's the main characters. I don't know what's the last name.
The suburban.
The family.
The suburbanian. Yeah.
We have Eric, the little kid in the wheelchair.
Who is actually a.
Wheelchair kid?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
How do you say he's handicapped?
He wasn't a. Yeah, I mean, like he was he was a handicapped actor.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Well, he wasn't an actor.
Well, he did a pretty good job though.
An alien driving under the influence.
Debbie is the little girl, and Courtney's his older sister. I don't. Isn't it fun when you watch movies and you don't know who any of the characters' names are? You don't remember any of that shit. But when Mac gets smashed on the windshield, there's a kid in the car.
Yeah.
Do you know who that kid was?
No, but you're right. There was this whole other thing where you think, oh, he's gonna end up with this kid.
Oh, I guess. But do you know who that kid actor was?
It looked familiar.
Do you remember a show called Salute Your Shorts?
Yeah,
Do you remember Budnick?
maybe.
He's Budnick. That was Budnick. That's one of the greatest child actors of our time.
He really went places.
Yeah. No, man. Like, if I go in there and tell my wife, like, oh, Budnick was in the car, she's gonna be like, I want to watch Salute Your Shorts right now.
We hold you in our hearts, and when we think about you, it makes me wanna fart.
I want to watch Mac and Me again.
Man, Salute Your Shorts was the shit, man. That's like Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I watched that.
Budnick was the dumb bully.
Red hair?
He's the kid in Terminator 2 that rides on
With the
John Connor.
arcade! At the arcade!
Yes.
It says, like, go, man, I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
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 Okay, yeah, I know him.
See, he went places.
He did! He went to Terminator 2. That's way more exciting.
Hey man, I think I saw that kid you were looking for. Hey!
I mean, if I was in Terminator 2, that'd probably be the pinnacle of my life. Even if I was like bum on side of road or
Right,
something
yeah,
like,
it'd be something.
You bum.
Why did... Yeah.
Remember when you said you could be a bum? You thought
I
you
like
could be
it-
a bum?
Don't tell him that.
That's a secret. So, anyways, Budnick.
You can be a bum. Like, anybody can.
If you have to be a
If
bum.
I believe in it.
If you
I believe in myself.
No, Budnick became a very prolific cartoon voice actor.
Yeah.
Like, he's in a lot of shit.
As you do.
as everyone does in Hollywood eventually. So Mac steals a soda in the car, takes a nap. So now we know he likes Coca-Cola. Product placement number 1.
The first of many.
The first of a few.
Was the first one NASA? That doesn't count.
Yeah. NASA paid for product placement so you could go buy their satellite. I don't fucking know.
I don't know what product. What product?
What product does NASA sell? Memory foam? Because that came from space stuff.
Microwaves.
Microwaves. Oh, yeah. Whatever. So they drive into their new house in California because they're coming from Illinois. Come from Chicago, most likely.
Yes.
Whatever. It's a joke. I don't know. But they drive past the little girl who's the neighbor.
Yeah.
And she's sitting across the street
Yeah.
in Native American clothing.
And she
she has a
communing
tee-
with nature.
And she has a teepee.
Yeah.
And her toys.
Yeah.
And she's summoning earth spirits.
Yeah. Because it's California.
Welcome to California, bud.
Welcome to kooky California.
Yeah. But the thing about that is that never went anywhere.
Yeah, that never came up
never
again.
get brought
ever.
up. Like,
It made her. It was to say that she's open enough to when she sees an alien, she'll be, oh, cool.
yeah. Or maybe they're just trying to say she gets high a lot.
Yeah,
She smokes that peace pipe and, hey, an alien, cool, whatever, bro.
it's California.
Which is funny because later on, so that's where the brother goes, welcome to California, bud. And then he says something about, like, oh, California girls. Like, he's all excited to try to bone some California chicks.
Some McDonald's employees.
But then later, when Eric, I'm not going to call, I don't want to call him Eric if his name's not Eric, but I'm pretty sure it's Eric. We should look it up while we're sitting here.
All right.
He's playing with Mac in a bear costume. They call it a teddy bear.
Kinda old for a teddy, isn't he?
He's from Illinois.
So I don't know, but that's some great Midwest. What do you say? Shots fired. What word am I thinking of?
Shade.
Yeah, there's some good Midwest shade right there. So what is this? Oh God, you were making this so complicated. Oh, there's no internet here.
Internet's bad.
Yeah, internet didn't work. I don't know. Internet's not working.
Okay.
Little
brother and big brother.
So we watch. There's movers. They're moving into the house. Mom's got a new
She's
job.
like, hey, don't drop my stuff. And they're like,
Who cares about that?
then why have it in the movie?
Well, with that kind of thinking, you might as well cut out like 70% of this movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
I kind of like the mom.
she's all right. Yeah.
I like them as a unit. I believe the family.
What do you think happened to Dad?
Well, I think
Now fanfic is gonna start.
I think that he could have. Okay, so in E.T., which is the inspiration for Mac and Me, the dad obviously left. He left the family. I don't want Skittles.
Oh no, I'm showing them.
Are you tasting the rainbow?
I'm tasting the rainbow. Hey, you know what? The red ones taste different than the other ones.
All the Skittles taste
That's weird.
exactly the same.
See, different cover on the outside. Same thing on the inside. Just like Skittles. You see, because they look different on the outside, but on the inside, they taste exactly the same. Yeah, I know you really like the red ones, but you're living a lie.
All Skittles taste exactly the same. Anyway, I don't think that. I mean, he could have just left them, or she's trying to get away from him, but I think that there was a car accident. I think the dad died, and that's why the kid's in a wheelchair.
I didn't think about that. I assume Dad's dead.
Yeah.
Because they still have a picture of Dad.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, I still love my dad."
Yeah, and they were in a car in that picture. Was that picture taken right before the accident?
Who took it?
That's a good question. The whole
Was it
family
Mac?
was there.
Oh, wait.
I assume Dad died because if not, it would have been like family photo, and she would scratch his fucking face out if that was the case. So they missed Dad. Yeah, I don't know how long has he been in a wheelchair.
You know what's amazing? She has a job at Sears, and they have that big ass house.
Well, she asked how do you pay for this? She's like, I'm gonna sell one of you.
Right.
So it's not that big. I mean,
For a job at Sears?
Maybe she's a manager.
Maybe.
Maybe that house is built in an area where there was nothing else around it, so
She probably is commuting 2 hours.
Well, her son drives her to work every day for some reason.
They probably live in they actually do live in Riverside.
No, it was Hacienda Heights.
Ah, okay. Well, only because you knew that, though, not because the movie ever says that.
The movie doesn't say that, but I mean,
So they could live in Riverside.
Sure.
I'm just saying. It's
The house probably didn't cost that much because if
they
you look
drove into the 405
off the 405, yes.
as if like, oh, we're in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And you could not afford to live there with a job at Sears. That's my only thing. That's the most least believable
Are
thing.
you saying that there's no Sears in Southern California?
there are a
That
few
someone
left?
works at one? Well, I mean, yes, anymore,
They can
but
afford that house?
that can live in a house?
Not in that neighborhood. Just that salary alone, no way. No way, Jose.
They probably got the settlement from the dead dad.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Life insurance.
Life insurance. Okay.
Life insurance
All right,
policy.
it plays now.
Insurance policy.
Okay, I missed that part.
That's a joke about you.
What did I do?
Remember you said insurance policy?
I never said such a thing.
Catherine finds out about Ben and Josie's plans for putting out a life insurance policy on her so they can
Life
get more money.
insurance
I did it good!
You said insurance.
No, I didn't. Catherine finds out about Ben and Josie's plans for putting out a life insurance policy. You're right, I did. Life insurance.
So she's like, oh, there's low counters and low windows and like wide hallways for your wheelchair, which
Low IQs.
well, you are really mean. And then she says this as she takes him into his bedroom and says, oh, you can watch the sun come up over the mountains every day. And that window is way too high for him to see through.
Yeah.
So my wife was like, she just said,
She lied to her children.
yeah. She's like, she gave you the room that has
She's
the high
a
window.
liar.
Then we get, okay, I know this is not an homage to They Live because they were made in the same year, but I wanted to believe in my heart of hearts this is an homage to They Live, but the older brother's in a room unpacking, and he puts on sunglasses.
Are you talking about the extended wrestling sequence?
What are you talking about?
The extended wrestling sequence in Mac and Me.
I didn't know there was an extended wrestling
I
sequence.
mean, I'm just kidding. I'm making a They Live joke that you're not picking up on at all.
Well, okay.
All right, continue on.
They fight and they live in the alleyway.
Oh, I fucked up because I called it a wrestling sequence?
Yeah, I was like, what, it's because it's Roddy Piper?
Yeah.
He doesn't wrestle. I mean,
They kind of wrestle. They have, like, they do headlocks. Okay, I'm sorry.
They punt. I mean, yeah, whatever.
All right, my joke was bad. Continue.
My joke's better. It's not even a joke. Anyways, the kid puts on sunglasses and he looks at the hallway.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
looks at the doorway and he sees Mac kind of peer around the corner.
And then he takes them off. He doesn't
he
see me
takes off, he doesn't
anymore.
see him anymore. Then he puts them back on again.
I'm believing it. I don't even know how that works. One probably Mac and Me probably came out before They Lived did. I don't give a shit. It's They Live. That's the connection. Now I need to think about Mac and Me all in terms of capitalism. Is it all just like a veiled metaphor for like how we're all like mindless consumers?
With the who just want to buy soda.
About the Coca-Cola and the McDonald's?
So it's actually not an advertisement for McDonald's and Coca-Cola.
No,
it's a subversion.
That's the clue. You fucking cracked the code. Nobody else has thought of this. This is a whole new way of looking at Mac and Me.
It only took 30 years, people, but I figured it out. Or we figured it out. Anyways, yeah, he puts on sunglasses and he sees Mac and takes them off. He's away. Puts them back on, sees Mac, so go away. And I was like, that's fucking Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
What if he grows up to be Roddy Piper and They Live?
Oh my god!
He looks like him.
Holy shit!
This is the early.
He somehow got access to his legs again, and
No, not him, the older brother.
Oh, the older brother.
Yeah.
For sure. Grows a mullet.
That's in LA.
Falls on hard times.
That's in LA.
He's already there.
He's already there.
And
that's how he got from Illinois to LA.
The Macs are they're like they live on the same planet that the They Live aliens come
so
from.
loud. The Macs are what turn into the.
No. They're like the They Live. Okay, this is what happened. No. You started this. You're gonna finish it. Shut up. Listen. The They Live aliens, the aliens that They Live, they visited the planet, the Mac planet.
Yeah.
And they did to that planet what they did to try to do our planet.
Yeah.
And they just stripped. They sucked it dry.
No. They didn't suck it dry.
They sucked themselves dry.
No.
They sucked themselves all day long.
Instead of sucking it dry, they actually pushed all the Coca-Cola into the ground.
Yes.
Instead of sucking all the Coca-Cola out, they pushed it back down into the planet.
They did. And then
No. It's like oil. See, oil is made up of a bunch of dead creatures, right? Like
they're all cannibals. So
they destroyed everything on
sucking
them.
the sustenance of their ancestors.
And then all the dead bodies went into the ground and made Coca-Cola for the last remaining 4 people on that planet.
And then they went to Earth.
And
then one of the few survivors of that apocalypse landed on Earth.
And taught the older brother.
And taught him about the magic sunglasses.
Yeah.
This is amazing. All right.
What year does They Live
Mac and
They
Me
Live takes place in the future, right?
Mac and Me ends and says, "We'll be back." They were.
It just wasn't a Mac and Me sequel. It was We'll Be Back in the movie theaters in a couple of months.
I really hope They Live came out after Mac and Me. I have no idea of it. Okay. Now
Oh my
that's
God.
Mac and Me fanfic.
I mean, you are a writer.
What's your next note?
Max sees the picture of the family and cries. And you see Mac crying. Max, okay, so you're talking about bad creature effects, but Mac's adorable.
Mac is ugly as shit. It's a fucking weird.
Bald.
I don't even
Can't, it's like if you took people and you put in like radiation.
It has like no facial expressions. It's
No, I was gonna think of another movie. Have you ever seen the Chernobyl Diaries?
No.
Or there's one where they go to Chernobyl and then they go on a like it's all found footage, I think. Or maybe it starts out like that and then it's like, oh, fuck the cameras, it's just a regular movie now. I don't know. By the end, they take a bunch of people that have been like radiation poisoned and they put them in like holding cells and they look kind of like this. Whatever. I can't remember what movie it is.
So you're admitting that this thing looks like a radiated poison
Yes.
creature.
Absolutely.
It deserves your pity.
It definitely deserves pity. It's got big old eyes. It's like sad puppy dog, you know?
It's just the mouth. It's just like the just like eternally puffed out cheeks with just a little can't quite close its mouth.
Like that, yeah. So anyways.
It's like splotchy. It's got like splotchy skin.
It's been in the sun too much.
Okay. It's ugly as fuck.
Mac and Me.
E.T. is like objectively ugly also, but it is cute. It's got like eyes. It can emote. It can frown and smile.
So did
it. That's all it does. They have to make it cry because that's the only way that you can know that it has any feelings.
its ears, they could perk up and get
Okay,
wiggly.
all right, fair enough. Anyways, it cries because it looks at the family's picture.
Ryan's been drinking a lot, so Ryan's very animated. So Mac powers a toy car, and it drives around by itself, and the TV turns on by itself, and the kid's like, what? I plug in, plug out, why is the TV on? So, exposition, they have power, I don't know. The shower's running, he finds footsteps on the ground, he follows them, and the neighbor girl finally introduces herself as Debbie, which I think she's a good actress.
I feel like I know her from something else.
I feel like I didn't look it up.
Like she was in Beethoven or something. She wasn't in Beethoven, but like something else, like another like family thing from my childhood.
I don't know. I thought she's fine. My wife was like, she's a bad actor. So I'm like, she's the only one.
But she's not a bad
She was
actor.
the only one that I actually liked.
Yeah.
Because she has some really she has like shade, but whatever.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. There's a line later that's just like, it's kind of sexual innuendo, and I don't know why, and why she's whatever. We'll get to that scene. So at that point, Mac's gone. Kid doesn't know where he's at. The other girl has seen him now, and he's like, that's my brother. What's he look like? She's like, wait, you don't know what your brother looks like? He's like, I'm just kidding.
I was just kidding.
Mac's sleeping outside, and he hears a coyote howl at night. He's like, oh, fuck this, I'm going inside. And he goes back to the house. He sees the family, like, cutting wood and putting pictures up, and he just fucking cries again, I think. Or something.
Cries
something
a
bad.
lot.
Yeah, he cries. I mean, he misses his family. I'm gonna teach my kids to do that so they can, like, they're gonna, like, walk around and do that shit and whistle. The kid wakes up the next morning, the toy car's driving itself, and he follows it. And then, I don't know why Mac's using power tools. He drills a fucking hole through
I'm
the
just
wall.
like, why is he fucking this house up?
Yeah,
He's just destroying the house.
Yeah, he's drilling holes.
What does this do?
He picks up a power saw, just cuts a fucking triangle in the
Why
front
does
door.
he turn the inside of the house into the outside?
To make himself feel comfortable?
Because he lives outside? Because he's an
feel
outside
like,
dweller?
I feel like they say something that he takes as like, oh, they would like this if I did this. I don't know. I don't remember.
I didn't get it. And then the mom's like, my wheelchair-bound son, I can't believe you.
Why did you do
did
this?
all this.
I should have gone
Did an
back
entire
again.
crew. You would need an entire crew of people to be able to
Yeah,
do.
there's like a stuffed deer in the middle of the room and sand. Like, where did the sand come from? There's no sand. Mom's pissed off. And then the next scene we have is the wheelchair kid, which is the one that Paul Rudd uses when he goes in Conan, where he goes down a hill, and then a dummy in a wheelchair flies off a cliff into a pond, and then Mac swims underwater without moving.
Yeah.
He just moves like this and just goes in the water and somehow pushes the wheelchair out of the water.
Also knows how to swim while also being from a planet that seemingly has no water.
No water. Whatever. Fire can't kill them, neither can water.
Yeah.
They obviously don't need air. They live in that fucking NASA lander
Yeah.
going through space. For
Everybody else is in danger, not them.
Yeah, they're fine. They don't care.
Well, as long as they get their Coke.
Yeah. Is this movie a metaphor for actually something else?
Ah.
As long as you get your Coke, kids, you'll be fine.
Oh, God. I'm just crazy. I'm gonna be crazy. It's okay to be crazy.
The kid's like talking to a doctor afterwards, and he's like, "Oh, he's like, your mom says you've been seeing some stuff." And he's like, "You wouldn't believe me." He's like, "Here, kid, take these drugs and go to sleep. I don't care."
He doesn't actually take any pills, though.
But he like, get some rest. I don't believe you. Okay, that's the scene. So she goes in there. He's in bed, resting from his ordeal, from falling in water and almost dying. And then, speaking of falling off a cliff, since we're talking about relevant news, you see that video of the girl like got pushed off a bridge in Washington?
No.
She fell 60 feet. It's like a river where people jump off the bridge and shit. And she was like standing on it, and her fucking friend was like, whoop, just pushed her.
funny.
Yeah.
It would just be a goof.
Funny. Only 6 broken ribs, 2 punctured lungs, a broken hip.
I did hear about this. She like belly flopped and whatever.
So, that's just kind of weird. That just,
So it wasn't like some crazy person. It was just like a friend that thought it'd be funny.
yeah.
Wow.
And they'd be like, well, we're not friends anymore.
And also, let's see if you can do some jail time.
Yeah, well, she's like, I didn't want to go to jail, but like, now I do. Anyways, so after this scene, kid's in bed recuperating, and Debbie comes over and she's like talking. He's like, why didn't you tell them about it? She's like, no one would believe us.
No.
She's like, she's smart. And then her hot sister comes over, Courtney.
Who is hot?
Yeah, I remember like look like when I was a
I
kid.
got like 80s. I got like 80s.
Like her hair is terrible.
I got like an
It's
80s.
big
I got a
and-
little bit of an 80s boner.
I don't know what that means.
Well, it's just like I remember when people look that way.
Okay.
Nobody doesn't
So
hear
you-
anything. I
You
said,
got a nostalgia boner.
yeah, nostalgia boner. I asked my
Still don't
fiance.
know
I
what
said,
that is.
"How come girls don't do their hair like that anymore?" She's because everybody's hair
terrible.
fallout is terrible for you.
Yeah, she's got the big curly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but she's like pretty.
Yeah,
Like she's good looking. And I just remember as a kid, when I watched this,
Yeah,
like,
have a crush on her.
and now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, I was right. I had a good thought on that one.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, invite birthday party tomorrow. Invite him, and then we gotta go. And it's she's like, okay, Eric, call me.
I'll see you later. Give me a call.
She just meant like code, like let's continue talking about the alien.
I figured that, right? Older brother meets older sister, and they're just immediately just like, I want a bone.
Yeah.
And she's like, me too.
Yeah.
And then they're leaving. He's like, McDonald's, huh?
But it's a
And she's-
family movie, so literally nothing happens.
You're right, but he's like, McDonald's, huh? She's like, yeah. And then the little girl goes,
Why don't you stop by for a Big Mac?
that's the sexual innuendo.
Yeah, what does she mean by that?
I can't take that any other way. She literally, yeah. It literally says it right there. Is it backwards? I don't know how cameras work. Does it show it backwards? I don't know. But she's like, why don't you stop by and get a Big Mac? Like she even has like a little bit of tood to her the way she says it. And I was just like, I don't know what that means. Now, if the older sister said, yeah, why don't you come by and get a Big Mac? Or she would say, why don't you come by and give me a Big Mac? That would
Which
make
is
more
also
sense.
kind of
What?
like, okay.
Because if whatever.
I'm gonna give you 2 100% pure beef patties.
So,
There's like a song. I forget how it goes.
Mom goes work at Sears, and then they lay a trap of soda and straws. And then they catch him.
Reese's Pieces style.
Yes. This movie is an E.T. ripoff.
Yes.
Like, through and through.
Yes.
With a much cuter alien.
If you say so.
Max, okay, later on when Max wearing a t-shirt, it goes down to his, it's just like just a shirt goes down to his feet.
The best that this group of creatures could do is cone heads. That's all I'm going. as far as I can go with it.
Yeah.
Like when they got all their clothes on, it's just cone heads. Like that's it.
So they lay a trap.
SNL level.
Debbie just climbs in the fucking window. She's like, hey, what's up? I'm coming in. She climbs in his window.
Yeah.
They capture Mac in another vacuum, so now we see him get sucked into another thing.
There's precedent for that. We've seen
Right.
them get sucked into vacuums before.
But then I was like, is that a thing now? Like, are they just like to be like sucked into stuff? I don't.
somebody said, "No, don't shoot him. Get a vacuum cleaner."
But then this results in one of the best stunt. Like, I had to pause
Up on the ceiling and everything.
I was watching. See, I've been watching Mac and Me with my kids.
Put a lot of kids in danger. in this
And I
movie.
rewound it. I was like, wife, come in here. You need to watch this scene. And then, yeah, to suck him with the vacuum, and then the vacuum just starts going crazy because he's in it. She's spinning around the floor. And, yeah, they built a track where she went along here, then went up the fucking wall, then went along the ceiling, and then when the camera cuts, and that's all a person, stunt person, then when the camera cuts coming down, it's a fucking dummy. Like, really obvious dummy. And it just crashes to the floor, and, the knees don't, articulate correctly, so the legs just go... It looks really good. I don't know if you noticed it, but I love a good, poorly made dummy. Can make every stunt better. Just, chef kiss.
That's true.
Throwing a dummy off a parking structure onto a car, just looks great.
You can't say that unless we have that footage somewhere.
Do you have that footage?
I don't know. Actually, I do.
I think you do. Yeah, it's a great puppet work. It's like three puppeteers for just the face. And they said 5 puppeteers to do the whole... I mean, obviously, there's, different shots with different angles, so, you rarely ever see Mac walking. There's one where, he's walking behind a bush. You can tell the bush is hiding, There's the one where they're in the closet and they're looking out, and you can tell it's separated top and bottom. And I wonder if they shot that and then combined it.
Well, they do the Child's Play thing where sometimes the camera would show, in the beginning of the movie when he's running away from the government.
Yeah.
It's just a person in a suit.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's a person in a suit with a high-angle shot from
a
helicopter.
There's a couple of those, but I'm saying it's mainly there are probably cables going into the back that are doing it. It's just that they probably have a couple different dummy or puppets that this one has articulating hands, this one has the face. When they did the last Chucky movie, I think they said they had 7 different versions of Chucky, which they used throughout the movie because one would have more articulating hands, one would have more face, one would have more leg. They would build them all differently. Stuff like that.
Who would win in a fight?
Chucky or Mac?
Mac or Chucky?
Mac. He's resistant to fire, space, water.
But don't you think Chucky would put him in a cage and just know that he just needed to withhold coke from him for a long enough time? He would just starve him to death.
I don't know. I don't know if he actually died.
Chucky's pretty sadistic. Okay.
Chucky got his head put in a safe for many years, and that's how he lived. So I don't know. So I don't know what it is about older movies. I always say that you always go they don't make movies like that anymore. Not Mac and Me, but just we say that a lot about older. I think about things like Three Ninjas or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Just movies that you're they would never make that nowadays.
No more ninja movies.
Huh?
No more ninja movies.
No more ninja movies. No, just the 80s are full of just stuff that
is really dumb.
No, I think I can't think of the right word here. I think they're even when they're bad, you could tell they put heart, or not heart, but
there's a sense of non-irony.
But I think the people who make the movies are competent. Like you said, this movie is shot on film. It looks good. It has all the right angles and lenses and things like that. You go watch Phantasm 4 and you're like, wow, you don't know how to use a camera. Mm-hmm. I like the Phantasm series after all said and done, but you guys don't really know how to make a movie very good. But the first one or two felt like real movies, even if they weren't good movies. They just still feel. And then you get later in the series when digital cameras started coming in, it just became more run and gun, and you just don't know. You don't have the angles, right? The scene when the wheelchair is going down the hill and he falls off. It's when you're going, you need motion in a wheelchair. It's dangerous. And there's a kid actor, and you don't stunts. So if you want a sense of speed, you shoot it from the side, because if you shoot it head on, you have to shoot it really wide. And if you shoot it from the side, you shoot it very narrow, telephoto, and you move the camera, and it makes it go speed. And the guy knows what he's talking about. He understands the language of film. I think a lot of movies back then, we were watching a show on Showtime. It was about the best adult movies throughout the history. But these were pornos that were made with acting.
Yeah. Deep Throat.
Yes. But not that one.
Was that one?
We didn't.
I don't know.
We didn't get from me. It's all movies that I never heard of, but they have actual long scenes in them that are drawn, and it's not just
Eyes Wide Shut.
I never seen it. I don't know. If you've ever watched a Skinamax softcore porn movie, the acting in between is always terrible and funny. I like watching those for the acting because it's so bad it's funny. But it's 30 seconds between a sex scene and another sex scene. Old porno movies were actual films that had porn in them.
Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Oh, you actually made a real movie. Have you seen Boogie Nights?
Yes, but I'm thinking about the movies they shot while in Boogie Nights.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He wanted to make a real movie that had sex in it.
I can't remember what movie it was, but there was a director that we were talking about that he had probably shot a porno in the past, and they didn't want that to be known.
Like Wes Craven? You mean a lot of filmmakers?
Older filmmakers.
Frank Stallone?
Really?
Frank Stallone.
was
Sylvester Stallone, excuse me.
Oh, Sylvester Stallone was in a porno or shot a
So was
porno?
Jackie Chan. You did not know this?
Like, in it or performing?
I don't know enough about this to speak authoritatively.
Then don't act like you know what you're talking about.
Jackie Chan was absolutely in some form of a porn film before he became a famous martial arts star.
As like an extra, right?
I don't know.
He wasn't like. It wasn't.
I don't know. Maybe
wasn't
you should
laying
find
pipe.
out.
Okay, whatever.
Sylvester Stallone definitely was.
Lane pipe.
Yeah.
I think I
mean, I don't think
but it was
like
softcore. It wasn't like actual.
No, it was probably softcore.
It was a sex scene in a movie.
No, it was a porno movie.
But it wasn't like they weren't showing penetration.
I'm not necessarily saying that it was.
I think
like,
I've heard the story. I don't know.
But he definitely was. It's not a movie that has sex in it. It was a porno film.
I think about Friends, and Joey was like, "I was in a movie." They're like, "What movie was it?" He's like, "It was a porno." He's like, "What do you?" I'm the guy who's like, "Hey, you shouldn't be having sex in the copy machine." Like you're not having.
Sylvester Stallone was.
I'm cast as.
I'm pretty sure he was.
Pretty sure it was a Skinamax type movie.
Anyway, I'm saying it's nothing to be ashamed of, and you got to get your start somewhere, and that's how it goes.
The guys who were making those porno films, you could tell they had a love of film language. They understand how to shoot a movie and like, you know,
a shot, reverse shot, and they know how to not break the line of action.
Right.
And
yeah, and the scene that he was talking about the wheelchair, actually, when I watched it again, he was right, because when the camera was in front of him, he's going down the hill, you don't really get a sense that he's like actually going anywhere. It feels fake. But when you get the side shot of him going down, it feels like that fucker's gonna like crash into something, right?
yeah.
Anyways, one of the little touches I felt that like kind of made me feel like, I miss this from movies. Even a low-budget, cheap E.T. knockoff still felt like a real movie. When Mac comes out of the vacuum and he's all like, and then like, give him a soda, he's all fucked up. The lights in the background of the scene are like slowly kind of pulsating down and up, like with Mac. I'm like, just little touches like that. Like, this is a real movie. Even if it's a bad movie for a lot of people, this still feels like they put the effort into it as if it was a real movie, you know? Yeah. So yeah, he ends up cleaning up the house for him. Mom, I love it because the mom doesn't believe, obviously, like there's an alien. And the older brother just goes, "Mom, do you really think we do something like this?"
I really like that line.
And I'm like, "Oh, this is so great." She's like, "Yeah, you guys are a bunch of little fucking bastards who never clean up after yourself." Yeah. It must have been a fucking alien.
It was
that
the
came
most
in here.
convincing thing that they said.
Yeah. You know, I didn't believe you when you told me I was up an alien, but
she would believe that they would fucking dress the whole house up
right.
like the backyard.
She's like, obviously you wouldn't clean up. So you're right. It must be an alien.
Would we do something like this?
It's a good point.
I don't know how we get to the scene where they decide to go for a run, and he says, "I'm gonna take my wheelchair."
Oh, that's a
down the hill."
setup payoff. That's setting precedent for later when he runs away from the government and goes down the hill.
He goes down the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more
because
talking
they
about.
can't keep up with him.
I'm more talking about.
I'm trying to give you some more ammo for your competent filmmaking.
Good story, right? Good screenwriting. Yeah.
It went on way too long. It's like a 5-minute scene.
Well, Mac gets in like a power wheel, but it's not a power. It's like a remote control. It's one of those. Like,
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
It's a super fast truck.
And why is he doing this?
He wants to catch up to Mac,
okay.
or catch up to Eric.
Okay.
He misses him.
All right. You think?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember at this point.
I mean, he can see him whenever he wants. Like, he's gonna come back home.
They go for a jog, and he's like, I want to go hang out with you. So he gets in the fucking thing, and then all the dogs, every dog in the neighborhood, all off leashes, have all escaped their houses. It's just complete anarchy with dogs.
Yeah.
And he's just zooming across in the road, almost gets hit by the car from the neighbor, and all
Dude,
the dogs.
there's some dangerous looking shit.
I was thinking the same thing. Like,
and it didn't look like a dummy. It looked like there was somebody in the wheelchair.
Oh no! You're thinking about later.
Maybe.
This is just
there's some dangerous shit later too.
Yes, I've rewatched.
Tell me how the dogs were skidding. How did the dogs do skidding?
So Max in a little car, and he's zooming around the dogs chasing, and they're all barking. He even pulls a fucking fishtail around a corner.
Yeah.
Like, this is a powerful ass like power wheel, whatever. They must have sprinkled or like dumped a bunch of like chalk,
oil or something.
Because you see one of the dogs slip, and it kicks up a big puff of white dust.
Okay.
And you actually see like kind of the angle of the camera. They probably just lay down like a big pile of like.
I've just never seen a dog do that before.
Like slip while running.
I mean, just the first time.
Like in a kitchen.
No, like yeah, on a kitchen floor, not in the middle of a fucking paved road.
Right. So that's why they did that, so they get them so they can like have.
That's some Wile E. Coyote shit.
The dogs are fishtailing as well. Yeah. And then he drives Power Wheel off of a little like embankment to the freeway, and he ends up in a tree.
So,
And he's adorable. He's just sitting in his little fucking tree out there by himself. He's like this tall. It's so cute.
where is the Mac and Me comic book tie-in that explains how he gets out of the tree and back home?
The dogs eventually give up. They're waiting. They're like, it's like
I think
wolves.
he killed and ate all the dogs.
He killed and ate all the dogs. I mean, I don't think you don't see the dogs anymore later, do you?
They're gone. How else did he get home?
What movie is it?
You think the dogs just gave up?
Yeah, they're like, someone was like, "Dog, come home," and the dogs were like, "Oh shit, I gotta go home." What's the movie? Is it Stranger Things where all the cats started getting eaten? Like the cats start disappearing. Something came in the
Sounds
neighborhood.
like a Stranger Things thing.
Muse gets eaten.
Jason Mewes?
No, Muse the cat.
Oh.
That's the cat's name in the show, I think. Also, some of the best music. Some of the best, here's a song right in the middle of the movie about friendship. It's
the songs.
Be my friend forever.
Yeah.
Just
Not
really...
a stranger anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know how any of them go.
Just really, really corny.
Yeah.
Really bad. But in the defense of the director, who's a very competent filmmaker, he said...
Passenger 57 with Wesley Snipes.
He said, learning about kids happened when I had my own kids. When they go to a movie theater, he's like, when they're watching a movie, when they see other children on screen, they pay attention. When all the adults come on screen to do their thing, he's like, they lose interest. They want to go to the concession stand, go to the bathroom, whatever. He's like, so I tried to put the kids, even the older brothers, put them on more than anything because that's what kids care about. And you fucking know what? I had a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old watching that movie. They were fucking into it. They were into Mac. They were into his family.
Great.
They were into the kids. But you know what? The government shit, they could care less about the government trying to catch them. They didn't understand any of that.
In other words, you're admitting that you're carrying Mac and Me on to another generation.
Yeah.
You're inflicting in another.
I'm keeping the dream alive for a sequel. Someday my kid will go up to make Me and Mac.
Mac and I.
Yeah. There was a joke there, but I couldn't figure it out. So, they put Mac in a bear costume to hide him, and they pretend it's a toy with a bunch of microchips.
Yeah. And all I'm thinking is just gross furry stuff. It's just
what's wrong with you?
I'm broken.
Yeah, that's the line where they're like, "Oh, isn't he old for a teddy?" And he's from Illinois.
Yeah.
Then comes one of the only things I remember from this movie was the dance scene at a McDonald's.
That whole thing is pretty amazing.
It's kind of like in Clerks 2 when they just break out in a musical number for no reason, and everyone's dancing and shit.
At first they pull up, and I'm like, "Just having a party out in the parking lot? Fucking McDonald's?" It's like the saddest fucking thing ever.
It was the 80s. Where else did you hang
And they go
around?
inside and the whole party. It's inside, it's outside, it's everywhere. It's all ages, it's all demographics, it's all races, it's all everything.
It's the safest thing you could ever see in your life. It's the most innocuous dancing, and like I said, everyone's...
It was like right out of Blues Brothers.
Kind of.
They're all shaking a tail feather.
Hold on, I need to think really hard for a second.
Everybody give Kyle a second.
Yeah, you're right. They do. That is a song that plays with Ray Charles when they're doing the dance outside.
Yeah.
Okay. I had to verify that you were correct.
Oh, okay.
Also, someone put on Twitter, it was a scene from Fast and the Furious 5 to Blues Brothers music. Did you see it?
No.
It's the bridge scene when Vin Diesel has a safe.
Yeah.
And it's playing the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And it's kind of good, but I kind of got really pissed off because it's like, name the song. It's not the Blues Brothers music. It's Can't Turn You Loose. Okay? It's got a fucking name. Asshole.
The name is Asshole?
The guy who posted it's an asshole because he didn't know the name of the song. I was going to tweet, I was like, do you even know the name of this song? It's like, I'm a Blues Brothers fanatic, right? So, I know that. But, even though I could be wrong, the song's probably not called Can't Turn You Loose. But I'm going to look it up right now, asshole. I'm going to verify. So I'm not going to...
Everybody's an asshole.
I Can't Turn You Loose is the song.
It's close enough.
It's literally the song that I had playing on my phone.
I would give you credit. McDonald's party.
Yeah. That is some...
Matt gets down.
I would love... Yeah. This is the flipping the wire flip scene.
Yes.
Okay, but...
He does, 0 gravity somersaults.
He doesn't, run into a flip. It literally is a dummy on wires that just goes from one table to the next while spinning.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just like everyone was like doing this shit dancing, fucking terrible.
By the way, everybody thinks that this teddy bear is like a robot teddy bear.
Yeah. Like, okay, 1988, we had Teddy fucking Ruxpin at that time.
I mean,
and this is a dancing robot.
You saw Rocky 4.
Happy birthday, Polly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but that thing could not jump on the counter and start dancing.
Well, it was a specific model.
Oh, because they had a dancing model in Rocky 4. They just
It
didn't
didn't
show
have
you.
enough microchips.
It's just funny because like now if you said like, oh, I have this fucking robot that does all these things, you're like, okay. Literally, we had one at that time. You could put a cassette tape in a teddy bear, and its mouth would go like this while the cassette played.
Yeah.
I don't know where this fucking microchipped up dancing robot teddy bear came from, but
Have you seen Artificial Intelligence?
why?
Because
Will Smith? No.
No.
The kid from The Sixth Sense, right?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
I don't care. Shit make you cry, dude.
I cried during Mac and Me.
Well, then it'll fucking make you die. You'll just die.
I'll just die.
Yeah.
Why is he so much bigger all of a sudden? She's like, that's like a 10-year-old in that costume.
It's almost like because there's an actual person in
yeah,
instead of a prop.
Turns out it was a 10-year-old. Yeah, absolutely. I'm drinking water.
Me too.
Water laced with alcohol.
Water laced with alcohol.
I'd be more proud of you if there was actually wine in there.
By the way, guys, can I just say as a side note, I am loving this canned wine thing. I think it's brilliant. I mean, I'm active, I'm gesturing with my hands.
There's a football players.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it. And they're like 40. They're not even like, oh, I'm the high school football, and I came in here for the dance contest. It's just like, that guy's like 35 years old.
It's literally everyone under the age of 18.
and then grown-ups.
Yeah.
Like full on, like, I don't know. It is, I mean, the video's probably playing over this video right now, so it's great.
Just look at it.
It's the most like...
Bask in its glory.
It has no purpose. So I said, it's a dance contest. This is what they said. Dance contest, get up and start dancing.
Yeah.
And I went, who the fuck is competing? They're all dancing.
And where is this McDonald's?
It turns out it's a training McDonald's. It's where you go to learn how to work in a McDonald's.
Do you think at any point, though, McDonald's was like, yes, this is what we want people to think. We want people to have giant dance parties.
Ronald
in our
McDonald
restaurants?
was there.
He was.
He was.
Much to McDonald's chagrin, I guess.
Didn't necessarily want it, but he just showed up and then he put him in.
Yeah.
Did we talk about the financing deal? No, we haven't.
I don't know, you can.
And people like to stick around to the end, I hope. We'll talk about that shit.
I mean, most people have already turned this off and they're watching Mac and Me at this point.
Yeah. No one's watching this. So here's where we go, the scene you're talking about. This is a wheelchair going down the road. So the government guys show up at the cage. They want to get him. And they run away. And then they chase the kid in a wheelchair with Mac on his lap. And they go down a fucking hill, crash through a fence.
Yeah.
And they have like clothes all over them from a clothesline because it was the 80s and people didn't have dryers.
Yeah.
So they had to hang their clothes up outside on a clothesline. You know, the 80s. But this scene involves a child in a wheelchair going down a street where cars are just constantly coming out of driveways.
There's a shot where literally, like...
Oh, I want to get to that shot.
Like, how do they even do that?
Yeah, so... And the government guys are, like, jumping over cars and shit.
Yeah, none of them have been getting in a car and just gonna chase them. They're all just gonna
They're jumping
run.
over... They're doing the cool shit where they jump over the hood and they slide and shit. Yeah, they're going down, like, a busy-ass highway. And there's... Okay, so what you're talking about, they do a scene, and I've watched it so many times at this point. There is a part where it's a stuntman. And the director talks like, he's like, wheelchairs are dangerous. He's like, because they can tip over. Once you start getting good speed, you can fall over left, right, forward, and back. Like, there's no, and these are like older wheelchairs. They don't have a lot of, like, you know, wheelchair technology has changed a lot in 30 years. There's just two big ass wheels, you know, and a little foot thing. You could tell it was a stuntman. It wasn't the kid. He's like, I can't. The kid was like, I'll do it. He's like, I can't let you go do this. I thought it was a dummy because that scene you're talking about, he's going downhill. The camera's behind him, and there's a car coming that has real people driving the car coming right at him, and they swerve at the last moment, right? The wheelchair starts to swerve in the direction the car swerves in, and then turns and goes back. I thought, oh, that's a dummy. There's no way. That person almost got annihilated. That was a real fucking person.
That's just perspective, right? Like when you put the camera that far behind somebody, it's gonna look like they're really close.
Because I went back today and I was pausing it and going like frame by frame. The wheel of the car and the wheel of the wheelchair were about that far apart.
Well, this is before Twilight Zone, the movie.
I mean, that's gruesome and dark, but I wouldn't go that far, because if most of what would have happened, it would have been a really...
I actually don't know if that was before Twilight Zone. I don't know when it came out.
Yeah, I think it was like 1990. I could be wrong.
I could be wrong.
But, no, that scene scared... I was like, no, I had to watch it again to make sure that, oh, God. Like, every time it happens, you think he's going to get hit by the car. It's super scary. Then they go through a Sears. They see his mom. Mac touches things, electricity, the doors lock.
Do you think when she was like, oh, so how long have you been in lingerie, that was like sexual tension?
What?
Do you even remember this?
No.
When they're invade the Sears.
They're going upstairs.
And she is like talking to
I never
her
listened.
boss, a coworker. I don't fucking know. They're on the
Right.
escalator. She's like,
How long have you been in lingerie?
I know what you're talking
only
about.
I think about these things.
But I never heard the words they said because I was thinking about that car almost hitting the wheelchair. What's funny about that scene is that when they leave and Mac's like, and it locks the doors, the government guys just picks up a fucking TV and throws it through a glass wall. Like, I mean, they are like a secret government operation.
Somebody will pay for it.
Yeah, they don't care. And then the fucking van pulls up, and the brother is like, drive alongside of him and opens the fucking van and pulls the wheelchair and the kid. My wife goes, how the hell did he brace himself? He reached with both hands. What was he hanging on
Somebody was
to?
holding on him.
I said his shoulder was pushed up against the door.
No, somebody behind him had like their hand on
the little girl.
Had
Debbie was holding a 16-year-old.
and then also somebody was holding on to Debbie.
No, Courtney was driving.
Debbie took Eric's belt and looped it around her arm like this on the other side of the thing. They did like this.
I was like, he had his shoulder up against the thing, and he would just like wait and pulled it up.
Mac is magic.
It's pretty good. It's a good stunt. Oh my God, we gotta hurry up and finish this up. I was waiting when they were going downhill. I thought they were gonna fly, like E.T. Like I thought they were gonna do something in Mac's
You
power.
mean like a bicycle
But
running
it's-
away? Wait, a bicycle. Somebody on a bike running away from government officials through suburban streets.
See, but instead of a bicycle, it's a
It's
wheelchair.
instead of a wheelchair.
And I thought that would be a really great shot of the wheelchair in the sky.
Right, but they couldn't afford that.
2 on the nose.
Oh,
2 on the nose.
That's too much. Across the moon silhouette.
Well, it
wheelchair
was
silhouette.
daytime, so it would have been like across the sun. It would have been like across like the Hollywood sign or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that you know what? Instead of, I mean, literally, there's this. I can't do it right now. I mean, I guess I could, but there's a scene on the fucking box. I'm gonna attempt this. This is
You're gonna attempt it?
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt this. That scene right there in the middle.
You can see really good how ugly the alien is.
Oh God, I get it even closer. I can't do this. This is hard. That scene right there. That's them in the wheelchair. Anyways, I was hoping for a flying scene. That one right there.
Oh yeah. Instead, they just keep taking clothes
But
off.
look at the cover. Look at the cover.
It looks like Extro.
It's a no. It's a
It does
moon.
look like Extro.
It's a moon with their faces on it.
Yeah.
Why is it not a wheelchair?
That's not the moon. That's his planet.
The moon's made of cheese, and that's yellow, so that's the moon.
Right.
There should be a fucking wheelchair and the Mac on it in front of the fucking moon for the cover of this box.
That's almost like
Get ready for a family adventure that's out of this world.
it's almost like if I decided to do a video project on Jaws ripoffs, and there was a Jaws ripoff called Grizzly about a killer bear, and at the end he blows him up with a bazooka, but as he shoots the bear, he doesn't say anything like "Smile, you son of a bitch." He just shoots the bear.
So it's kind of like it, but not quite.
I'm just saying it gave me the same sense of like, oh my god, I can't believe you didn't,
Yeah.
go all the way with it.
They try to give him water. He's like,
Fuck water. But he's also kind of like fuck soda. Because sometimes they give him
Right.
soda, it's just whatever they want. Because sometimes they
But
give him
the
soda,
joke-
and it's
the
like,
joke there-
oh, he's not feeling good, he's sick, and so he's...
But the joke there was like, oh, smart. Keep the Coca-Cola flowing. Keep that sponsorship going. But he sure does like Skittles.
Oh yeah.
Skittles. I had Skittles. You saw them. Yeah, he wears a shirt down to his feet. It's really cute. Reminds me of being a kid because I used to dress like that. I used to be...
You don't still dress like that?
No. I used to be the kind of kid that would take one of my mom's shirts when I was like 5, 6. And obviously that shirt was so big on me and went down to like past my knees. And I'd run around naked underneath and I'd be like, woohoo! I miss being a kid.
You did that last week.
I wish I could do that still. But my kid started wearing my sweatshirt.
If you would like to
Shut
wear...
up. My kid started wearing my sweatshirt, and it does that. It goes all the way down to the floor, and the sleeves are too big. And of course, he does it after he gets in the shower, so he's naked. And I'm like, oh my god, that's me.
If you don't want to wear a suit to my wedding, I will also accept a huge oversized T-shirt.
I might take you up on that.
Absolutely accept this.
Where would I even find it? I gotta go to the Big and Tall store.
I don't know, because you're big. Like, I don't know. You need to go to like the Big and Tall.
I'll get multiple shirts. I'll cut the things off and then I'll stitch them together.
Yeah. Where are we?
We go to an actual abandoned gold mine. We find the family. They're practically dead, and they give them soda to wake them up.
Can I tell you, like, as a person who's never seen this before, this is the first moment I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah, like they're dead.
No, they're fucking not.
Like they just found a dead family.
This movie's not that good.
It's not that dark.
I'm just like, they're just fucking dead. They died of fucking
Wandering
starvation.
through the desert.
And what do you call it when you're exposed? You're just
irradiated.
I don't remember. Holy shit.
Weathered.
There's a word for it when you're just like you've just been out in the elements for too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have Coca-Cola in our deserts. It's not in the dirt. Because if it was, I'd have a Coca-Cola farm.
They're so dumb.
They're
so stupid.
They're running away.
I don't understand why we're dying.
On their planet.
If only they just fucking stayed at the NASA thing, somebody would eventually have given them a Coke or Pepsi.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. They would have cut them into pieces.
What if they gave them a Pepsi and it was like Pepsi Challenge? It was like... What is this garbage?
This really is a Coke-sponsored movie, right? They play, like Simon Says, in the car to keep him busy. You find out that he's really strong, which you kind of already know, because he's like, he took the tire iron and he just tied it in a knot.
It's kind of added to like a level of danger. I'm just like,
because he's just like,
he could at any moment just snap the necks of everybody in
here. Well,
here.
because she's like, he wants my bracelet. He could just like rip her arm off, you know? Like,
fold your arms, sit like this until I tell you to move.
We go to the gas station, go to the supermarket. They walk into a supermarket. Some ladies.
Super surreal. Is this just me?
Why?
The imagery of them just in the flat fluorescent lighting inside, there's...
What about it?
I don't know, it just was really fucking weird.
Because like nobody reacts at first.
I just feel like that scene could have easily been in another movie that was really disturbing.
Oh, yeah. I think it's funny because one of the guys, like if you have the subtitles on, there's a guy who's just like, hey, it's probably just some promotional gag, some marketing. And I'm like, you, sir, have no idea how much the future holds for you.
I just feel like this movie had nudged me into a place where I completely believed all of a sudden everybody would just open fire and there'd just be like little alien squibs all over the place and they would just die in a pool of their own blood there in the grocery store. You're making faces at me, but the movie is not that far off.
You have a very dark sense of life.
This movie wanted me to believe that his entire family just died of starvation out in the desert.
They didn't.
And found a hole to die in. and then later, well, I won't spoil.
Either way, I think it's funny. There's a guy who's like, it's just people in a costume. Like, he's so cynical.
Well, they are.
And then you've reached 2018 where we've had so many dumb marketing stunts done. Like, you're just like, I never believe in it.
They're probably mimes.
Yeah, they're probably mimes in a costume. And then the movie gets real dark real fast. Like, real, like...
Oh, just then?
Okay. Being without... being without stuff in the desert and maybe slightly kind of dying is different than... Put down the gun!
Yes.
They're fucking aliens. They don't understand
They turned
you.
into Alien Nation.
Basically, security...
District 9.
District 9. Yeah. Security shows up. He just grabs his gun. It pulls a fucking, the beast from Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah.
Ooh, a gun.
Oh, what is this?
Yeah. And then, of course, the sheriffs show up, and they, like...
He was just trying really hard to be an American.
Yeah. I love guns.
Yeah. Later, I figured it out. I got the suit on and the big car.
Yeah. Now he can have a gun.
Yeah, now you can have a gun.
Yeah. Once you get your citizenship, then you're good. So I just wrote, police, gun, explosions, fire, dead, alive.
I don't even know what happened. Were they standing next to a giant propane tank?
Remember they were at a gas station.
Oh. You could just...
Okay. They were going back to the car.
Yeah.
The cops show up, point a bunch of guns at them. Guns. The kids, they pull the kid, they throw him in the back of a car, a police car. And then the dad, whatever the hell, the dad alien has a gun, but obviously he doesn't know how to fucking use it. He's like walking back carrying a box full of soda. They're just like, I'm gonna go back to the car. Like they're not bothering anybody. And the little kid in the wheelchair, Eric, I think, decides like, he wheels himself out there, right? And he's like, no, don't leave him alone. I'll show you. I can stop them. They're fine. And then, God, just the cops chasing him, trips over the trunk of one of the cop cars, like bumps into it, and as he falls, he fires his gun. And then the dad alien's like, doesn't know how to use it, but he
defends itself.
Kind of tries to put the gun out. And then all the cops, and then, this was 1988, they figured out 2018. They were way ahead of time. All the cops just fucking shotgun, boom, 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 just unload everything they have into him. And then, of course, the gas station just fucking explodes. The building fucking explodes. The aliens are in there. But then the wheelchair kid is out there.
His head is like...
Did you see the special effect? When all the fire is going off, there's like a little like cutout of a wheelchair.
Yeah.
It looks so... I'm showing it right now. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, the kid's dead. Like, literally just dies from the explosion. But in typical E.T. ripoff fashion. Okay, I don't know much about E.T. Doesn't E.T. save someone's life? Doesn't he, like, give a bunch of his life force up to save somebody?
Yeah, I just don't remember what happens to him.
And he, like, basically is, like, turns white and is, like, dying.
That happens before because he's been away from his home planet for so
Okay.
long. But, he does do something.
I don't know shit.
I think the Elliot gets sick.
It also happens in this movie called CJ7.
Oh.
I'm gonna pull some more Asian cinema in here. Remember that one, the kid, or no, the dad, Stephen Chow gets flattened like a stack of pancakes under a fucking pallet full of like bricks, and somehow the little guy is just like, and he brings back to life.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he kind of sacrifices himself.
Wow, total ET ripoff.
Anatomy of an ET ripoff. So the kid's dead, and then all the aliens come back over, and they do like this, and then there's like flashes of light, and they play light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Yes.
And the kid like lifts up, and then he lifts back down,
Yeah.
and then he's alive.
Yeah.
And so then everyone goes,
And then he can walk again.
I had to think for a second, wait, does he walk? And I'm like, no, he's an actual handicapped real person. What the fuck did you make me do? It made me really double... I had to go back in my memory banks and think, wait, he did? Oh my God. Anyways, and then everyone goes, oh, they're cool aliens.
Just put some clothes on them.
And then, I love the next scene when the two government dudes are like running. They're like, did they tell them this? Did they make the doorway high enough? Is there enough headroom? Did they make those? And I'm like, what the fuck is going? I don't remember this. Like, what's going on? And they're like worrying about whether or not.
Because they're like into it?
What?
They're like into it.
Yeah.
They're not like still like, we're gonna capture these aliens.
Right, well, but they're running somewhere. They're running into City Hall in downtown LA, which I knew that fucking building because I've worked in that building before. I worked in the records room downstairs in the basement in that building.
Oh,
Movie.
somebody cares.
Movie stuff. Movie stuff. I've actually been to a lot of movie, like in LA.
Touching the hem of that Mac and Me garment.
We've talked about, like, I've been where they filmed Terminator, filmed in the third Batman movie. Like, I've been in a lot of places by accident, not by accident, but like, I'm like, oh, this is where they filmed that fucking movie. Like, not like I went to like, let's go to a tour and go look at where they film movies. It was like, no, I was going to do a job.
Yeah.
And I was outside the building and I was like, I know this place. And I'm like, oh, it's a fucking movie. Anyways, that's City Hall, downtown LA. I want to say it's where Dianne Feinstein or Barbara Boxer's office is. I remember when I walked in, it was on the side, you could see it or something like that. I don't fucking remember. Anyways, they're running into a building and you're like, what are they like? They're all like flustered about something. You run into a room and there's a judge and everyone has their hand like this. And it's a huge room full of people. And I think that's the actual interior of that building. Now, granted, that's 1988. I went into that building when I was like 2010 maybe. Or like 20... Yeah, around that, maybe like 2013, something like that. And I remember that building being very nice on the inside. So I think that was the actual interior of that building. But now when you go in, it's fucking metal detectors and security guards. It's security guards wearing nice blazers and shit. Like, you know, like...
If you look really close in the background,
yeah,
you can see the Coneheads, Harry Henderson.
I knew you were going to pull something stupid.
And Alf, all of them, taking the same oath.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you're just making that up.
No, it's there.
He's playing a joke on me. You're trying to make it funny. Anyways, you go into the room, and the camera goes all the way from the back. The guys run in, they pick a spot. The camera goes all the way through, goes around the judge guy, and then when it finally pans around to the very end, you see the fucking family wearing human clothes, and I fucking died. I laughed so hard when I saw the dad like this, in a business suit, wearing a tie. They become citizens, and then they drive off in a
Somebody
pink-
gave them a car.
and then they don't just drive off in.
They got their driver's license before they're citizens.
They are driving the car, not just in the car, in a pink convertible like Cadillac.
Yeah.
It makes me think of that I Love Lucy episode where they like, let's get a convertible Cadillac to drive cross country. It's like one of those. And I guess the parents feel that it's okay for the alien family to drive their 2 young children without the parents around off onto the freeway.
Yeah.
Blowing
They've
bubbles.
proven themselves.
And then Max in a little kid chair.
Yeah.
Kid seat. It's cute. And he blows a bubble. And then there's a CGI bubble that blows up so fucking big and it says, "We'll be back for the sequel." But before that, let's not forget the fact that Eric kisses Mac
In the lips.
on the head.
Oh.
The older brother kisses the daughter, alien, on the face.
Okay.
The dad Debbie kisses, I don't know. They're kissing the alien.
Yeah, it's not kissing.
They're like
Yeah,
up
yeah.
in their face. It's
Well,
fucking
how can
weird.
you not kiss those faces?
They're so lovable. And then, of course, Mac was wearing a McKids shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that fucking brand. Strong marketing.
You can find it in Sears.
Now, I looked this up, and you can find this on the internet. And it's a video of someone filming a TV screen. So it's not even like the video, it's someone filming the screen of the Japanese VHS of this movie. Now, talk about that explosion when it killed the kid. I don't know why this was even filmed and why it ended up on the okay. Instead of him dying from the explosion, in the Japanese VHS release of this movie, when the cop trips and shoots his gun, you literally see the kid in the wheelchair with a squib get shot through the back and it blows out his chest. Not blows out his chest like Blaine in Predator, like a hole, but you see him die.
A little bit of blood come out of his mouth.
No, not that gruesome. But you see him get shot and killed.
Okay.
Like, whoa, this got real dark real fast.
What else did they shoot that's not in the movie?
I don't know. You tell me. What else are you stupid goof you're gonna make up now?
We're almost done. So
Yeah, we're about done here. So the story we're talking about, the producer was partners, like in the business, with a guy who worked for a McDonald's food distributor, or he was like the CEO of, and you see it after the dance scene, you see the truck in the background that has the McDonald's logo, but it's actually the food distribution company. It's like Golden State Food Distributors. They're the ones who supply McDonald's. I think the producer's friend was the CEO of that company, and he was the one who got them to basically get McDonald's to finance either part of the movie or to finance the advertising for the movie. Which, like, you see a lot of like co-marketing deals with like, oh, there's a game that's going to come out on Xbox and PlayStation, but like Xbox will get a deal where all the commercials for the game, Microsoft will pay for those, but they'll only show the Xbox logo in the commercial. So even though the game comes out on PlayStation, it's like, oh, we'll pay for the marketing as long as we market our version of the game, whatever it is. This is one of the first movies to have a outside business help finance the movie. So Sears, Skittles, Coke, and mainly McDonald's are like helped finance at least the advertising or part of the movie. And then what you saw later was Disney did a lot of this, where Disney toys would show up in Happy Meals, which was part of marketing, you know. Yeah, it's really interesting. Now, as to why this is a bad movie, the director was called and he was like, hey, the producer was like, we have a movie we need you to make, like, now. We have an outline, and we already have all the crew that we've hired, and we're paying them to start doing this. So you need to write the movie now and make it and start shooting it, like, immediately. So he had a couple weeks to literally start writing the movie while location scouting and shooting the movie itself. He was like, I would work on a weekend, and I would come in with the script on Monday and be like, all right, this is what we're shooting this week.
Yeah.
So it seemed like the movie was partially still in development, so...
That's how Jaws was made.
I don't even know if you're joking anymore. I don't even know where to go with it. Sure.
They were writing pages as the movie was being produced.
I know the movie went over a lot. I know it went like 100 days over because they were still doing it.
They didn't have a finished script while they're doing it.
The premise, the producer...
Turned out pretty good.
Okay, E.T. came out in 1982. I thought this was like a year or two after E.T. Turns out it was 6 years.
Yeah,
It's like nowhere.
There had to have been some other ET ripoffs.
Because there was no way that 6 years later you're like, remember E.T.?
Yeah.
We should do that. Usually it's like the next year.
Yeah.
You know, oh, E.T.'s hot. Make one that's like just like it, you know? But the premise, the producer said, is like, our script outline, or our outline of the movie was basically alien and handicapped kid. And that was it. And the director was like, I want a real handicapped kid. I don't want... Did we already tell a story? No, we didn't. So it wasn't an actor in a wheelchair. It was a kid who was actually in a wheelchair, who had like spinal bifida and had like a bunch of surgeries and stuff. So he knew how to be in a wheelchair. And the director was like, I don't want to go to an agency and get an actor. He went to a foundation that helps or works with disabled kids or handicapped kids and asked them, do you have any kids who might want to be in a movie? So this kid was his first time being in a movie. Like, he wasn't an actor beforehand or anything like that. Everyone else was a regular actor they hired, but the kid was actually, like, the first time acting. There's a lot of weird ADR in this movie where, like, you watch the character's mouth talking in the background and it does not match up with the dialogue. Because they're like, oh, we're... Like, the dance scene especially, it's like, you know, they're yelling at the government guys. There's people dancing. They obviously probably couldn't use the audio there, so they would re-record it, but it's like, it doesn't look... It looks way off. Just one of the... Of course, I noticed that stuff. That scene when they're in the gas station and he breaks the window to steal the soda from the girl in the car next to him.
Yeah.
He's like...
It's okay, they won't hurt you, they won't hurt you.
You listen to his dialogue, but if you see the kids, the words don't match the mouth at all. Like, not even close.
Amateurs.
Yeah. We're almost done.
Piss my pants.
You're gonna piss your pants, I don't care.
All right.
They filmed the movie around where the director lives because he didn't want to drive to LA for work every day.
Yeah.
So he's like, let's just film like in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
The scene where the wheelchair goes down, he's like, I used to hike there all the time.
Yeah.
That's how they did that. They filmed in Palm Springs, whatever. We talked about that. Mimes. They filmed at an actual McDonald's, but that McDonald's was a training McDonald's where they would train employees how to work at a real McDonald's. He wasn't trying to make a movie for adults. He was literally trying to make a movie for kids to enjoy.
Yeah.
So he competent.
Okay.
I think he did a good job. Now, there's a TV commercial. Just plenty of commercials for this before it came out, right? One of them has Ronald McDonald talking to the camera about his friend Mac.
Okay.
So that McDonald's shit was really hard, pushed in hard. Like, he's like, let me tell you about my friend Mac. He's like, oh, Mac's not here right now. I gotta go find him. Yeah. The song during the dance contest, the totally 80s, totally just, wow, that's some music, right? Allie Willis was a songwriter. She has won a Grammy, an Emmy, a Tony, a Webby, what was the other one? An Oscar, I think, for like, she is
Mac
like...
and Me discovered her.
No, she had already been around.
Oh.
She wrote the theme song for Friends.
Oh.
I'll Be There For You. She wrote the music in The Color Purple. Like, she is a accomplished ass songwriter.
Has tried to expunge Mac and Me from her.
How did they get her for Mac and Me? I don't know. She said years later, some friend of hers that was on SNL or Mad TV or something like that, they were like going to their house and she's like, I never saw the movie. And he's like, oh, we're gonna do a movie thing at my house. Like, we're inviting a bunch of people over. We're gonna watch Mac and Me. He's like, it's my favorite movie. You know, like, why? And she's like, I'm about to blow your fucking mind. She's like, I actually wrote the song. I'm like, what? Like, yeah. So this movie is special. It's weird. It's dumb. It's special.
I agree with all these things.
You can love it ironically and unironically at the same time.
It's probably somewhere in between, but that's fine.
Like, I enjoy it. It's fucking dumb. I know that. But I love the way the aliens look. Someone say they look terrible, but I like how terrible they look. It's great.
There's something to it.
Yeah.
It mostly has to do with the way they move.
And the way they look. That stupid fucking mouth. So, Mac and Me. Mac and Me. If you say it 3 times in a mirror, does something happen? Does Mac be
His arm stretches out and grabs the soda that you're drinking.
Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for Films in the Bucket. A little bit of Mac and Me tonight. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. What?
Mac Tonight and Me?
Mac Tonight and Me. Mac Tonight and Us.
Do you remember Mac Tonight?
No.
Oh, that was a McDonald's, like, one of his mascots.
No, I don't know that.
There's a McDonald's not far away from us where he would play the piano animatronically.
Yeah, it's the Moon
gone.
Man.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Mac Tonight.
That's not his name.
I'm pretty sure it's Mac Tonight. Correct us in the comments.
That must have been what the show was called when it was, like, while he was playing. His name...
That was like a song that he played?
It was like, come...
Ooh, baby, Mac Tonight.
At McDonald's, showtime.
No, it's like when you go there, be like, what times is
You're right. It was McDonald's Moon Man. That's what he was.
Yeah, exactly. So,
All right.
anyways, we had a fun time talking about Mac and Me. I like Mac and Me, ironically and unironically, and that is another Films in the Bucket. It missed the bucket. Oh my God! I spilled your beer.
Oh.
I spilled it on electrical outlets too.
Okay.
Hopefully we don't blow up. One more time. Okay, Mac and Me in the bucket.
Hey, you did it.